All right, welcome back to Studyball, and I've taken a few weeks off since the draft. Kind of take a deep breath before we start gearing up for next season. But now the draft's over. The schedule has been released. We're excited about the games. We're excited about the matchups. So many different things have happened through the course of this offseason, and that's what I thought I'd dive into as I start moving towards the season, is just taking a look at some of the big quarterback storylines that are out there. There's been a lot of movement. There's been big contracts signed. There's been different offensive coordinators that are inserted with different quarterbacks, and so excited to see a bunch of different things and how it plays out this season. I thought we'd start with Lamar Jackson. After all the issues of whether he was going to get a contract, whether he was going to be back with the Ravens. Obviously, we know that he signed the biggest deal in NFL history, and they've also got a new offensive coordinator in Todd Monken that's coming in. And so I'm excited to see what this Ravens offense looks like this year. I wanted to go back and take a look at LJ in his last significant time last year, just to kind of remind everybody who he is, some of the limitations that I believe surrounded him to a degree. Now they add guys like Odell Beckham Jr. And so, getting more weapons around him, more of a pro-style offense. What is this going to look like, and who will Lamar Jackson be within this new system? Let's take a look at the tape from last year, and we can see all of the good things that he does, and I wonder how that's going to translate into what they do this year. All right, so here we go. Against Jacksonville. It was really the last significant playing time that he had, and we're just going to kind of take a look. The first thing that you notice is Patrick Card, their fullback, is out here in the slot, and so this is something that, I don't know, is it going to change? Are they going to be kind of this heavy personnel with, two tight ends or a tight end and a fullback? Run-based, allowing Lamar Jackson to kind of be that special player in the run game, or are they going to be more 3 and 4 wides? Be something to look at. So a lot of play action stuff last year. So interesting kind of look here. Looks like we're going to have really just hitches on the outside and then something going down the middle right here. Backs checking and probably getting out underneath here. And so the idea is teams that will stack the box. So they got 8 guys in the box here, and we're looking to get a one-on-one type situation outside. Okay, the guy down the middle is usually set up for when we don't have a middle close situation. If we had 2 safeties where the safety split and left the middle open, now we try to draw these linebackers up and hit up over the top. So as I see this, if that's kind of the idea that they're trying to create here, if I see this, my eyes are saying, well, I got a free safety here. I'm not even looking at the guy down the middle. He's X'd out. I'm either taking my press fade over here, or I've got an off corner right here, and I'm trying to come out and bang this hitch right now. So right there, boom, chance to get that hitch, let that go right there, or we're back over to this side, not really looking at this because I've got a safety that's sitting here. But with that coming off, okay, doesn't like it. He's got his checkdowns here, but instead you see the talent of Lamar Jackson and how he works well with Mark Andrews, that he's looking to go down the middle. He sees Lamar kind of looking around. He's going to find a window here, and Lamar is going to stick it on his back shoulder in between the corner and the safety. And so it's really just making a play. But inside a more pro-style offense, I want to be able to see Lamar be able to decipher, know exactly what he's looking at, get the ball out quick. That's going to be paramount when you're running more of a drop-back pro-style system as opposed to the play-action type pass. Here you go again, play action. Okay, so play action, we've got what I call an influence post. We're going to run a go here. We're going to run a deep over. And then we're going to get somebody out here in the flat. So this is really designed, the primary part of this play is designed to get a high-low with the deep over and the flat. Okay? Can always peek at some other things. If I get middle closed here, okay, what I'm always teaching my quarterbacks, if you get middle closed, you're going to have this influence post going through here. So just peek the backside deep defender right on the snap. Just peek him, okay? If he clamps to the over or he stays down low, you got a shot at this over the top. If he falls back into his position, then this is X'd out and we come back to our high-low read to the backside. So come out with middle closed, peek at that guy, okay? That guy starts to get involved right there, okay? So I can see this one of two ways. He starts to get involved, and so if that's the case, I'd like to see Lamar get to this influence post a little bit faster. You see, he ends up getting there, and I like the decision, but it just becomes a really long, tough throw here because he was looking out the front side first, okay? If you don't like this, that's okay. You feel like this guy's falling off, you don't like that, no problem. Then get your eyes over to the flat defender right here and get your high-low that side. Rather do that than go front side, don't like it, try to recover back here and make a longer throw to the back side. See it right there. If he's reading front side, you're dropping it right there. Easy completion here. And again, not that I don't like this read, I just like to see him get there a little bit sooner. And then one tendency that Lamar has, and you see a lot of guys with big arms have a tendency, I just want you to watch his feet, okay? We watch his feet. We got to continue to work on his feet, okay? So all I'm saying is that his feet are set up to go here, and he's going to throw the ball over here. He's got enough arm to do it, but it's more about direction and accuracy when you're doing those things, and now it becomes more of an arm throw, and it's tough to curtail the ball a little bit, especially when you have a big arm, and get it to your guy. All right? Interesting play right here. I'm not really sure. This guy runs a hook with a swing. Okay, so normally I would see, well, we're reading this guy. This guy goes flying out there. We're going to hit this hook because they've got a crosser coming here. So it's kind of read that flat defender, 1 to 2, and then we're going to recover back here to 3 with the shallow coming across. Okay, so as we come out, I'd like to see Lamar stick that right here. If this is a hook, I'd like to see him, hey, I get this guy to move, put your foot in the ground. Okay, that's going to be another thing. You see him kind of falling back, is never really set when that hook comes open. Now, maybe that hook is not even a part of this because you'll see this hook receiver end up pivoting back to the outside. So maybe it's not a hook, maybe it's just a pivot the entire time, and we're kind of reading this defender to go there, and then we're reading this out here to the pivot, and then we're coming to the shallow. But it's just kind of a weird concept for him to turn and hook right there. Okay, so he turns and hooks right there. I'd like to see Lamar put this ball on him, almost like a curl flat read. Put it on him right there. If you don't have it, then move to your crosser coming across. But nonetheless, whatever this is, he stays with it and does a nice job here of realizing the recovery. Nice throw to the outside on the pivot. Nice little completion, and we're moving. Okay, so a lot on timing. Timing with your feet. Getting your feet set to the timing of the different throws becomes vital in a more pure drop back game. Play action. We know that they've been really good in play action, okay? Tough concept here. We're running a pivot. We're running a cross. We're running kind of an over or post right here. It just, tough concept. And there's a lot of these tough concepts down in the red zone. All these bodies in here. You get man on the outside, so you don't get a lot of separation. So you see it. We're going to read the pivot, okay? Lock to the pivot. All right, now this is our next throw. I mean, look at all these I mean, look how tough that is to try to jam that throw in, and then this one over the top. We're not really putting anybody in conflict. We're just hoping that the linebackers pull up and we can time this perfectly and hit the window, right? So it just tough concept, and it's something that I saw a lot down here in the red zone. Want to be run heavy, so you're trying to do a lot of play action off of that run, but it just makes windows tight, hard to isolate anybody, and it makes some of the throws really, really tough down in the red zone. Okay? Here's a call that I see a lot of teams do down in the red zone. I don't like it at all, but a lot of teams do it. So it's really just an all-go concept. To me, it's kind of a bailout for an offense coordinator, and so I'm not really just looking at Greg Roman, who was the offense coordinator with the Ravens. I see it all over the league that, hey, I don't know what to call down here. Let me just call all go. And, oh, it sounds good because everybody's going into the end zone. But the hard thing is that it's tough to make a throw. It's tough to make a go throw from the 10-yard line, right? A lot of times if we get a middle closed and we run double seams, we're going to try to isolate this safety with these two guys. But that's also tough because guys are sitting towards the goal line, and it's tough to find those quick windows down here. And so you'll see how this plays out, okay? So you look at it. It's tough to throw a fade with off coverage right there. That guy just matches to it. Here's our double seams. You see all the bodies that are in there. It's tough to drive those seams. When we have it in the field, we can throw it down the field a little bit farther. There's more room for these guys to have to cover, so it works out a little bit better. But you see, just really nobody open. So I see this down here. First thing I'm looking at is this right here. I've got off coverage here. I've got soft coverage with linebackers in here. Even though I have a middle safety, it's going to be probably hard to hit the seam. Now, we may be able to hit this seam here if things work out perfectly. But I'm looking and going, hey, I got press coverage on the bottom here. I'm going to go and try to get my press one-on-one. That's the best option I have. But instead, here again, Lamar is having to try to make a play for us. Try to figure something out for us because nobody's really coming open down here with these red zone concepts. And he just has to throw this one away. Okay, here we are again. Red zone, similar idea. We're going to run hook, flat, cross, in. So very similar to what we saw before. Just now we got two guys over here to this side, and it's tough because you'll notice we got two underneath defenders right here. Okay, so one's going to be in position to take the flat, the other one's going to be in position to take the hook. So now we got to hope that we can wrap this, and if we get movement by this inside linebacker, we can quickly replace with the quick over. But again, very tough right there, right? See, there's our shot right there, but again, there's a safety sitting right here. I see what Lamar sees, and it's like, okay, what am I doing here, right? Try to jam it in. If he can be flatter, maybe we can stick it in there. But a lot of these plays down here in the red zone have become, oh, we got to stick it into a guy to make a play. Here he is running around having to make a play again. It almost does it on this play. Okay, so here we have, I don't know. I mean, I can't explain this one. We've got a stick here, which a lot of teams will run a stick, but with that, they'll run a quick out or they'll run a flat and try to stretch that outside linebacker. In this play, this guy goes up here and turns inside and then tries to bounce out. I don't know. I really don't know what we're trying to do here. Lamar getting to the right guy. This guy gets engaged. Should be throwing it to the outside guy, but not really sure what the route is. On the backside, I got a receiver that's kind of walking off the ball. I'm not really sure what happened on this play. Ball gets tipped, able to make the catch, but again, I'm not really sure what this turn inside, fade outside type route is. So you see a lot of those things, you know. Again, they were a run-based team, and I understand the challenges of being a heavy run-based team, two tight ends, fullback, and trying to mesh it to a pass concept. It's a tough thing to do when you want to be heavy run and then everything becomes play action, and we're hoping just to get people to sell out and hit throws behind them. But then conceptually, you're not truly sound on giving your quarterback great options to throw it. Okay, so here's another hard play action. We're going to run deep hook here. We're going to run a fake double move and another deep curl right here. We're going to probably get this guy out into the flat, except the safety comes, so he's used up in protection. So when that happens, I just like to see Lamar kind of work through this and understand, okay, I got to let this thing go right now. Really the only throw he's got is to go up and over this defender right here, right? We don't get the high-low because my flat never gets out there, but there is enough space there, 10 yards, to be able to make that throw up and over. I like to see him get turned, see that right there, and be able to lay that ball up and over the top so he doesn't have to just run around and try to make all of these plays on the move. But again, the limitations of a heavy play action game. You limit the number of receivers you have, right? The blocking schemes change up a little bit where you're helping with your backs. And so you don't get the true high lows that you get in a drop back pass game. Okay, so here we're going to run kind of a switch go right here. And then we're going to come and bring the shallow. We've got the swing here, bring the shallow. And then I think we got an in coming back here. All right, so I'm seeing this safety right here. This safety's in more of a quarters look because this corner is off. So you got to be really careful about throwing this inside seam here. So if we get go against quarters, I don't really like it. I'm either taking my shot on the outside or I'm working off to one of my underneath guys. And you see, Lamar, extremely talented physically. Boom, trying to fit this ball in there, but that's what's going to happen. You get a quarters coverage. This guy's job is to be in here. Even though he's a little bit deeper than normal, he knows that's his responsibility. So when he sees that happen, he's going to drive that. Boom. Big hit on your receiver. Just a tough throw. Now, Lamar may be reading this guy, moving this direction, saying, I got enough depth here. I get it. I see it. But we got to anticipate a little bit better. Let it go. Let it go. Anticipate a little bit better if you're going to take it. Otherwise, just work down and work off of it and say, hey, quarter safety there. I don't want to put my guy in harm's way. I'm going to work this backside little combination here. Get it to my shallow coming right there, or maybe even back to my in if I get through it that much. All right, so again, play action. Okay, we come out. Okay, so maybe similar to what we saw before. We come out with the play action. This guy attaches to that semi route, that 12-yard out on the backside. Great. Now I'm going to try to get this throw up over the top. When I go to get that throw, I just want to see if these guys are carrying. So I got two guys that end up carrying. It would be nice to get back here to my in over the top. Right? Best case scenario is going to be back to this side because we have all these bodies over here. But I understand if he sees this, that he wants to try to get that one up over the top. But I want to see those bodies and those guys running, all those black jerseys back there, and just keep working through my progression. So this is going to be the fun, interesting part, right? Is that when we get into more of a drop back game, Lamar's been doing so much play action, limited kind of reading and more progression-based stuff. Now this, love it. Love it. Okay, so they got a similar play here. Boom. Then they're going to have somebody come over the top. So we saw that a little bit earlier. No problem reading to that side against man-to-man, but I love this. This is my alert. Okay, I got alert over here. That corner's off. Nobody's underneath it. Just come out and make the game easy and take your alert. Boom, right there. Nice throw, nice catch.